Hi there, I'm Jenna from scribblinggrace.com. Today we are going to have some fun in our journaling Bible. So if you're somebody like me who's somewhat of a perfectionist, we can get really caught up in creating that most beautiful, most perfect page that we put too much pressure on ourselves and Bible journaling becomes a little less fun. So today we're going to kick that back and we are going to enjoy our time spent in the Word. And I'm going to show you 3 super duper fun and really unique things to try in your journaling Bible. So we're going to do bubble painting, finger painting, and smush painting. So if you don't know what those are, that's okay, I'm going to show you. And we're going to go have a blast. Let's do it. Alright, so we are going to start with bubble painting. This is something that has kind of gotten traction for being a fun thing to try with kids as a kids art project, and then I saw it on Pinterest and I was like, oh, I have to try that in my journaling Bible, and I think it's so fun, so I'm sharing it with you guys today. So what we need is some acrylic paint, a cup, like a Dixie cup would work great for this, and if you want to try different colors, some different Dixie cups would work great. You need a straw. I only had a boba straw available, so this is what I'm using, but any straw would work. Some water and some dish soap. So first things first, I'm going to put a piece of paper underneath my page that I'm working on. Always got to protect that page. I didn't prep this page, but you know, you always can if you want to make sure you don't have any bleed through. And I'm just going to add a little bit of paint to my cup, and then a little bit of water, and mix this together. You want to make sure to mix the paint and water first and then add the soap, otherwise you get kind of a weird little bubbles that kind of ruin it. So I have known this from experience. So I'm going to mix this all together, try to get kind of a milky texture here, or milky consistency. And now I'm going to add a squirt of my soap and stir that in gently. And now I'm going to blow bubbles like you do with your milk when you're a kid. At least I did. So, all right, so let's see how this works. Okay, and now I've tried this a few times in different ways, how to get the bubbles onto the page. And I feel like just kind of using your straw to kind of drop them on is kind of the best way to do it. And just try to place them as best you can. Once they're on the page, you don't really want to mess with it, because then you won't get those bubble pieces. You can also see I have a lot of splatters. You know, I didn't necessarily want splatters, but that's part of this project, is just to have fun with it and see what happens, where it goes. Remember, it's kind of letting go of that perfectionism. And I'm gonna let that sit. You don't want to mess around with it, or you'll lose the fun bubble look to it. So I'm gonna let this sit and dry, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this is the finished bubble painting page here. At this point, I could either add more colors onto it, or I could leave it as it is. Stay tuned at the end of this video and I'll show you how I am going to finish off all of these pages. Moving on. Alright, so now we're going to try some finger painting. I mean, who doesn't love doing some finger painting every now and then, right? I feel like once you are no longer a child, you kind of forget about finger painting, but it's so fun to do. So for this, I'm going to put my piece of paper under my page again. And then you might want to have some baby wipes handy to clean off your fingers. You can also use wet wipes or a wet paper towel. I also have some water in case my paint is a little too thick. And I'm just going to use some acrylic paint. You probably should use some kind of non-toxic paint, but I don't have anything like that. So this might be non-toxic. I don't know. So I'm just going to put a little piece of paper on my paper plate here. Or a little piece of paint on my I can't talk. Okay, some paint on my paper plate here. And I am just going to take my water and just kind of dip my finger in my water just to get my paint a little thinner. And I'm going to do kind of a flower shape. I think the thing is that you're not using a brush, so you can't really make it look perfect. So I think you kind of have to make it look a little abstract. So I'm just going to kind of just quickly make kind of as much of a rose shape as I can. And I think that you kind of just have to go with it, not spend too much time on it or overanalyze what it's looking like, because that's the whole point of it. It's just to have fun, remember? Maybe I'll add another rose down here. I personally don't mind covering up my words here because this is my journaling Bible. But if you do not like to do that, you definitely could just stick it straight in the margins. So there's my, like, you know, rose looking shape here. Now I'm going to dip my finger again and grab some green. And again, I'm just gonna not think too much about it, just kind of create whatever leaves. I did not practice this beforehand, so just go with the flow here, go with the flow. Kind of keeping it abstract. I also did not prep my page on this, but sometimes this acrylic paint does kind of need a page prep if you feel like it. Okay, I like that. And then I'll take some yellow and maybe add some yellow dots. I'm using my middle finger, but of course you could just use whatever you think would be fun. All right, and I think that's how I'm going to leave this. That was super quick and super fun, wasn't it? So I hope you give this a try. Of course, you could create whatever you want. I just kind of went with a floral-ish look because I think that that's kind of fun. And, you know, you get the idea that it's a flower piece here. So, again, I'll put my lettering on it in a little bit, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, moving on again. Right. So last but not least, we're going to do smush painting. So for this, I'm going to use watercolor, and I'm going to need a plastic bag and some water and any kind of paintbrush that you want. And I'm going to put my piece of paper, of course, under my page again. And basically, I'm just going to take some color and just kind of blotch it wherever I want on my page, or yeah, my watercolor. I'm gonna add water. Some of them are gonna have some light spots, some will have some darker spots. The key is that you kind of want a good amount of water on all of these little areas. And now I'm going to take my plastic bag and just smash it on and just kind of smush it down all over my page. Lift it up. You might want a paper towel handy too to kind of dab off some of these edges. Make sure it doesn't go underneath the page there. You could definitely tape your page down to make sure it doesn't get underneath like mine is kind of. I personally don't mind that too much. And now I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll add another color. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna go in with some orange. I am using the Kuretake Gansai Tanvi watercolor set, in case you were curious. I love this watercolor set. And wipe off my bag before I put it back down. And smash it. Smush, smush, smush. Kind of rub it. Peel it off. And then I might just blot some of those darker spots. How fun is this, you know? I think I'm gonna add a little bit of green, just because I love having like kind of floral colors. So just add some bits of green here and there. Same thing, we're gonna wipe off my bag. Smush it, smush, smush, smush. Smush it, smush it, smush. You do want to make sure that you use kind of complementary colors, or they might blend together and kind of create weird brown stuff. So, and how fun was that? And super simple and easy. So this is also something, if you're not a very artistic person, these 3 things are so fun because you really could just do whatever and it'll look fun and creative anyways. So I will go ahead and do a little process video, fast forward through finishing all of these pages. But if you enjoyed this video, if you liked these tips, please let me know in the comments below. I have a blog post to go along with this as well at scribblinggrace.com, and I'll put the link to that in the description. Please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. God bless.